Okay, let's see. So, bones were decent. I liked them. I think spears still remain probably one of my best. Heavy arrows are interesting. Maybe I want to do a spear heavy arrow run. With a little bit of orbital fire. The main problem is the orbital fire wasn't very good at clearing a path, and that's what I needed. And so, maybe, yeah, having that arrow plus pets? I don't know how pets are going to work, where I get them. Okay, so yeah, let's get the arrow. I'd use my controller here, but I know one of the upgrades for the arrows was AoE size. And I think if I could get that to be just big enough that we can kind of clear a reliable path through foes. Also, just getting these first couple spear upgrades have drastically changed how effective it is. It is mowing through them. And yeah, if we can get the magnet pet, that's the thing. Magnet pet or the one that digs. I don't know what dig for treasure does. I'm hoping it's actually meta upgrades, because Scoop might actually be the secret MVP. Let's see. Orbital fire. I liked the bones, but they were a little hard to aim. Okay. Yeah, what I want to do, I mean, apart from get EXP, is I do want to get my hands on as much meta currency as I possibly can. I saw the top of this and I'm like, crystals? I really like that one little aspect of you are encouraged to explore in this game. That's not something a lot of, you know, bullet heavens do. You know, normally you're just kind of avoiding enemies, but here you actually have an incentive to, traverse the map in hopes of finding, you know, mining points and chests and whatnot. I think they randomly spawn, but it means that you can't just, like, hang out in this small circle. So what is a bullet heaven? A bullet heaven is kind of is a reverse bullet hell, is the easiest way that I can describe it. Normally in a bullet hell, you are a small character shooting a very small number of shots while weaving through large quantities of, you know, enemy saturation fire. So Ikaruga, Jamestown, so on and so forth. Whereas a bullet heaven, on the other hand, almost none of these enemies attack me. Will ever attack me. And so the entire point of it is that I am the one firing all the bullets. I am the bullet hell, and therefore bullet heaven. It's kind of the reverse. That makes sense? I don't know. Terminology is a little weird, but I like it. Yeah, Toho. It's a reverse Toho. I am the danger. Yep. And the big issue is I still need to do enough damage to actually, you know, clear through all of these enemies. Otherwise, I'm just going to get mobbed and die. And to some degree, you could argue that all of these enemies are projectiles themselves. And you wouldn't necessarily be wrong. So I saw a merchant tent up there, but I have, like, no money. Let's see, there's the cooldown. Yeah, if I can get this spear cooldown to be really low, I can only imagine it's going to get really stupid. Speaking of stupid, I am really digging the arrow now. I'd love to increase the size, but spear upgrades take precedence. Okay. But I will gladly take anything other than, I gladly take bow upgrades over any of the others. Avoid contact damage the game. Surprised you like it so much. This is fair. I think it's because in this game the contact damage makes sense. None of the enemies have attacks. You know, it feels much weirder in a game where the enemies actually have like movements and patterns, and you know, will just bump into you randomly. You know, here it doesn't do that, and so it feels quite strange. Okay. Now let's just increase damage. Because I like the orbital fire, but it's not my priority here. I do not know how to get a pet, and I want one. Yeah, the fire does have a bit of a damage over time. Interesting. I think the main problem with it is just when they're that close, it's either I kill them or I start taking damage and I need to run away. Do my spears get bigger? I think they do. That's cool. We don't want to go in there yet. I'll have to try and keep an eye on where it is. Because yeah, I can't do anything with that until I have a decent amount of money. Here we go. Now here's some stuff. That's... Okay, I'm gonna get this, but we found a pet. I wonder if you can actually get multiple pets on a run. Okay, keep reducing that cooldown. Oh, we have another merchant. Also a bunch of gold here that I must have popped open. Dang it. I mean, it's good. Okay, decrease cooldown. Yes. Grab a bunch of this stuff. Leaving the mining for a bit. Because we want to get over here. We want to pop this open. There we go. Oh, there's a chest. There's a lot of stuff here. Wow. I was hoping I get to choose what my pets were. But I'll take anything at this point. Let's see. Cooldown. No, number. Oh. And scoop. I wonder if we can't get multiple pets. Okay. Damage over time. Cleave. Some other stuff. Yeah, let's just do orbital. So yeah, Scoop just finds meta currency for us. Which is certainly appreciated. Huh. Interesting. Is this guy again? There's a lot of mining to be done here. Okay, get that. Knock him back. Increase damage. I don't think 4 is enough to kill the beetles, and that's the issue. Grab the money. Oh, there's more up here. There's more mining over here. We should probably hit up that store at some point soon. Oh. There we go. Let's see. Increase AoE size. Absolutely. As long as I'm not getting absolutely beetled here, I think I'll be in a good state. Let's see. Attack speed. Or no, attack size. There we go. Let's see. Damage. Perfect. I should probably get back here and kill the boss. It's kind of a pain to hit him. Though, my arrows being pointed directly upwards makes it a lot easier. Ow. Let's see. Damage. on the spears? Absolutely. We need these to actually net kills, otherwise we're in trouble. Now what are we looking at? Well, there's some HP. There's a lot. Aha! There's a lot of stuff here. A merchant, a pet, resources, and we're good. This is better. I definitely knew, like, the first round of this was going to be a little rough just because the meta progression seemed like it was going to be a wall. Increase. Oh, rank 2. Now digs for loot every 8 seconds. It gets bigger. Well, we gotta go with magnet range. I'm gonna keep going AoE size at this point on the spears. We have a decent chunk. Okay. Attack size by that much. There we go, and we should go visit that merchant. AoE size by 20%. Unfortunately, it's just 20% of base, I think. I don't think it's 20% each time. But I'll take what I can get. Okay, increased number. And let's go shopping. I have 600. Large stack of runes. Perfect. And I can afford nothing else. But that's how we get our meta currency. Okay, how are we doing? Halfway through the run. I'm feeling better. Let's see. The digging pet can heal, dig up healing. Ooh, that's good. I still think magnet range is the best, just because power scaling is the thing I'm most limited by, I guess. There's a bee that was just hugging me. There we go. Back up to full. Keep it decreasing that cooldown. I think it's at like half at this point, which is wild. And remember, we don't even have the meta currency or the meta upgrade that'll make that even stupider. These are boring. I'll save my money. Let's just go for the crit chance. I love how big my spears are. They've gone full aggro, and it's a beautiful thing. Whoop. There we go. Increase speed further. Whatever those little beetles are kind of tough. I should probably up my damage, but it still seems like quantity remains one of the more effective things for me. Alright. Oh, we got 2 bosses. Or, no, the sandworm is not a boss, it's just, a regular enemy at this point. Which is going to actually be huge for me, because now we're gonna be able to unlock that final spear upgrade pretty quickly. Keep reducing that cooldown rate. Oh, it's so good. And because it's a flat amount, every upgrade at this point is going to drastically increase my attack speed. The XP bar is a bit twitchy. Yeah, I mean, it's alpha. I don't know. I don't want to just, like, excuse everything because it's alpha, but the fundamentals for this game are pretty good. Just the, couple bits that are a little weird. Okay, I'm definitely feeling a bit impeded upon, despite, you know, quantity of spears. Let's see, attack size or arrow. Grab that. We'll go for the rest. I'd love to be able to upgrade the magnet pet even further. Let's see. Did increasing fireball size increase the radius too? Yep. Yeah, it did. Yeah. Getting mobbed by mudmen. Maybe that's okay. Let's see. Cooldown rate even further. Yeah, so every cooldown reduction that I get at this point is going to drastically increase my attack speed. Because it's a flat amount. I'm so curious if there's a limitation. There's gotta be a maximum, but if there's no maximum, we could potentially get it to instant cast. Which I think would be magic. Ow, one of the mudmen just spawned on me. That's a bit rough. Alright, we have another treasure chest though. And another pet. Let's see if I can stand in the Venn diagram. We can. Huh. Some of the spears aren't going away anymore. Or maybe they just stick around longer? I don't know. Fine, don't worry about it. I'll rescue you, whatever you are. Scoop upgrade. I was hoping for magnet range, but honestly, 50% magnet range on this character solves most of my problems. Increased damage. Alright. Looks like there's a bunch. Damage or number? Absolutely number. If this whole spear, business is not, like, if the screen is not spears by the time I'm done, I will be disappointed. Okay. Where are we going? I don't... Oh, heart. If I can get to it. Got it. I see a lot of gold here. Unfortunately, gold isn't the most helpful. If we can find another merchant tent, rad. If we can't, I don't know. That's fine. We're good. Yeah, shop, please. I do think this game could benefit greatly from interesting relics. Which of the VS clones had that? Okay. Well, I found a boss, I think. I'm at least trapped in here. The big bad beetle bug. There we go. Oh, it gets smaller. Well, that's kind of gnarly. That hurt. Or did I kill it? I killed it! Got a first run. That should give me a ton of resources then. Alright. I wonder if some of the later levels get longer. Felt the energy of the Horde tremble with your victory, Hunter. We also have whatever this resource is, but I don't know. Well, I could unlock a new map, which is certainly tempting. There's also Tangle Vines and the Tornado ability. Yeah, let's get a new map. Alright. Hinterland's hard mode. No. Desert Runes hard mode is 1,000. Hero health, hero health. Oh. And there's just a loot magnet upgrade right over here. Yep. This was the right choice. So first and foremost, have I killed enough sandworms? Yup. Wait, damage banner... What? Oh, but I have to kill 2,000 rats for that. So I guess an extra spear will attack. And bow. Let's see. Side scroll upgrades increased by an amount, but I can't do it. Don't have enough juice. So we'll just upgrade the 2 of those. Alright, start run. She is just too good. Let's just continue spearing as hard as we can. Let's see. Okay. And Highlands. 15 minutes. It's a little harder. Still none of the red stuff. No curses, but we'll see. So how does this stack up versus Vampire Survivors? I'm not sure is the answer. I should probably mention, by the way, that this game is going to be out in like 3 days on Steam. It's not available quite yet, but still. So how does it stack up? That's always a weird question for some of these games, just because, like, I think it boils down to a lot of personal preference. And so, what I enjoy might be different from what other people enjoy. So for me, for example, I do find Vampire Survivors to be a little stale at this point. There's the chickens. Alright. Upgrade that. I wonder if I actually have to worry about the chickens being able to do damage to me. Probably. But is that actually less cooldown reduction? I could be wrong. Oh, pet. I appreciate that there's new music too. Well, that's unfortunate. So I think what they did was that the talent is supposed to be 0.1 normally, but it's currently 0.2 because whoopsie. Okay, digs for loot. Base damage is kind of tempting, but no. It used to be 0.2, now it's 1.5. That's unfortunate. This probably is going to be more balanced. I loved the spear and the frequency of the spear previously, but I recognize the fact that that was actually, like, not balanced. A little unfortunate that I'm blocked by walls, but enemies just go right through. Actually, can the chickens? Maybe the chickens can't. Okay, and there's the rats that we need for the next set of next bit of progression. Yeah, let's just go all in on the fire circle. I liked the bow. I thought it was good. It's still hard to aim, and it's a little situational as a result of that. Holy shit, this is a lot of rats. Okay. Damage over time? No. We're just going to keep increasing attack size. So, I guess if we would want to try and get back to Vampire Survivors versus this, I think Vampire Survivors at the moment is undisputably the better game. Much of that boils down to the evolution system is kind of compelling. In a way that, you know, just flat upgrades on my weapons don't quite. I did pick up arrows somewhere along the way here. The one thing I would say is that Vampire Survivors is a little limited by them, whereas here I feel like I'm a little bit more free to just play around with any and every weapon, and increase damage, increase speed. Let's go damage. You know, here I'm more just kind of picking and choosing which power-ups I want and then just upgrading them a bunch. But there's no really synergies either. Which is kind of good and bad. Okay, AoE size. Ooh. Islands are a little rough. Well, at least while they chase me, they don't chase me particularly aggressively. I mean, this guy's floating right behind me. But he does seem to be stuck. Okay. So we've confirmed the weird ram ghosts actually look kind of cool despite the stupid boxing gloves, but they can get stuck on things. Which works really well for me. But so I don't necessarily know if this is going to be on par with like Vampire Survivors for a while. Oh, this is a familiar sight. But I do like what I see in terms of just like, obviously the visuals and the music are pretty great. I am going to get killed. Holy shit, this is bad. I wanted to bully that man into submission, but we'll have to wait. I have 6 HP. Nope, never mind. Got pixied. I really liked 10 minutes until dawn, but it's too bare bones. Yeah, with a little bit more time and effort, that game will be fantastic as well. Let's see. So bone shot, if I want to go bone shot. We killed a lot of rats there. Oh, here's the other thing. Oh, soul drop rate by 5%. This is the one I gotta save up for, though. But there was something else for 50. There are the tornado abilities. You know what, screw it. We're gonna try the tornado. I need a new weapon to play with. Ooh, that gets more expensive. Well, whatever. We'll give it a shot. Can I start with it? All kills with the tornado drop a blue soul. Well, we'll find out what happens. But I like the meta progression. Oh, so the twisters might just kind of go. Looks like they come out of the direction I'm facing. Big bonus. They're a huge AoE. Big negative, they're a little random. But they might work as like a really decent spear. Just follow where they go. Follow the path that they go. Yeah, it's like the arrow but not straight. But there's multiple of them. Oh, there's a merchant's tent. That doesn't really help me. And they do get bigger as they move, too, which is kind of nice. I don't know. Increased number? Yeah, see, that's what I'm looking for. Quantity. The arrow's biggest issue is, well, it does get, you know, it does get bigger, and you can reduce the cooldown. There's only one of it, and that's kind of hard to work with sometimes. Not fully. I do find the terrain to be kind of interesting in this. And yeah, they do have knockback. So did the arrow, to its credit. Like, I'd stun-locked one of the bosses a little bit, and it couldn't approach me particularly well. And the main question is there a cooldown reduction on the tornadoes, or is this the speed that it comes at? I guess we'll find out. Yeah, this is going to be the rat slayer that I needed it to be. Kind of. Okay, cooldown rate. Oh boy, and it's pretty hefty. Obviously the 4-second cooldown just baseline is a little rough. There we go. And some enemies can absolutely sink through the cracks, slink through the cracks. That knockback is actually like really good. Yeah, it's a pretty good rat grinder. Big issue is it gives me almost no defense over an enemy being in direct physical proximity to me, unless it shoots directly at them. I think it just shoots totally randomly. But it does mess them up. Can you increase the number of tornadoes? Yes. Okay, there's a treasure chest there. But I really do need to level up. All of my EXP is earlier. Okay, increase attack size by 50%. That's pretty good. Okay. Immediate problem is I still can't do much about any of this. That's the boss right there, and he is just pummeling me. It's not as accurate as the arrow, or as controllable. Okay, I thought there was a treasure chest around here. I think it might be to the north. But I'm going to try with the boxes for now. Let's reduce spear cooldown further. Just in case we get lucky and one of them gives me a heart. Doesn't look like it. I don't know why I'm going for the money, because I'm going to die. Yeah, so big trade-off. I like the idea of the tornado, but it's a little random. So I think we go spears again. I think the tornadoes are good, but we don't want to go for them yet. They're better like a little bit later. Oh, there was a pet on the previous map. Yeah, this character scales up their magnet range by 5% per level, which is actually really useful. But it's kind of rough early on, especially if you're not getting those levels, because you end up getting bodied. Let's try orbital fire again. Because I think having a big orbital fire is probably a little bit more useful than the tornadoes. Maybe. I don't know. Let's see. Can't reroll, so tornadoes. But I'm going to try and spec for fire and for fire and for spears. Because spears have yet to let me down. Okay, they did a little bit in the very, very beginning. But that was about it. Let's see. Anything else? Not really. Increase attack size by 50%. I'm quite curious about that one. If you could do, like, how big could you get these tornadoes? Because I know with the spears, they got huge. In a really fun and satisfied way. Let's see. If Tornado's Vivian guarantees a blue soul, does that mean it guarantees a heal on the other dude? Maybe? I should give him another shot. It's just leveling is the biggest issue on this one versus health. Because if you can level a lot, health means nothing. Okay. This is a lot of rats. There we go. Magnet range. Mining would be nice, but being able to pick up all of this EXP is so much nicer. Okay, keep that cooldown going. I'd love to mess around with like a really short cooldown on the tornadoes. But that would require quite a lot of upgrades to even get to. I'm not going to think about it too hard. Okay, increases attack size by an additional 50%. Unfortunately, they don't start big, but they do get big. AoE size. They do get very big. Let's see, max speed you'll probably get on the spear is 1.3 seconds. I got it down to what? 0.8, 0.6 earlier, and that was amazing, but looks like that was a whoopsie on the data entry. It's a bit of a shame because that was getting spicy. Pretty much carried the run, frankly. Okay, it's him again. Is he bigger? He feels like he's bigger. He's probably not. But, I don't know. At this point, I operate almost 100% on vibes. Okay, decrease cooldown, increase damage. I'd like to decrease the cooldown. Problem being is feels like a fool's venture at this point. It's what, a 5% attack speed bonus, which is good. But not really what I've built around. Ooh. Hot goat is ouch. There we go. Wonder if I can get hot goat stuck on merchant tent. Oh. I did not mean to come here. Oh, you can even buy the pets. Well, I don't have enough juice, so we're gonna just buy a bunch of souls. Get some levels. There we go. Decrease cooldown. Ow. Oh. That's rough. My tornadoes kind of screwed me there. They're like, hey, what if we knocked the boss into you? I'm like, no. Why would you do this? Its size is satisfying, but they really do not get close to max size until they're almost done. Yep. Nah. Oh, nope, I didn't die. Boss did. And me. Damn it. I wanted to get the boss chest. It would have helped. Oh well. Okay. 2:30. Do we want to go back to the desert for a bit? Maybe. See what this is. Side scroll upgrades increased. Yeah. Let's go back to the desert for one more run. And I like the idea of the twister, but I think we're gonna need some other things. Let's see. So desert gives slightly less, but I know I can beat it. Be an AoE garlic. There might be. That's the thing. Okay, I should be exploring instead of just standing around vibing. Ow. Or, you know, I can just walk into a skeleton like a fool. Bone shot? I'm curious about the bramble. Yeah. No, I'll unlock some other ones, I think, before I invest more resources in other directions. There we go. Also, I guess I should probably respond to a couple of these. Thank you, Death John, for the sub and welcome on in. Also, thank you, Swordsmanus Beneplacidi, for the, what is that, 29-month resub. Hot day feeling fresh fruit smoothie and a bit of game ogling. Well, Yeah, it's a hot day here. Unfortunately, I don't think we have smoothing materials where I am. Just a little bit of a shame. But I definitely agree with you. It is hot day today. Heatwave sucks. Cleave? Arrow. I like arrow. Let's go with those three, if I can. My one worry about unlocking a bunch of stuff is there's a very real possibility we end up with pool bloat pretty heavily. Let's see. There we go. Let's see. It's where effectively we'd have... Ooh, that's actually really good. Let's go with the bone attack speed upgrade a little bit. Let's see. At least it doesn't bloat it too much. That talent tree is huge, though. I can imagine it could get kind of problematic later on. Maybe it won't be a problem. Because, yeah, unlocking Tornado now feels like a bit of a mistake. Yep. But on the flip side, you do need to unlock the Tornado. You do need to unlock the Tornado to get to anything on the other side. Mostly. I guess you could go around, but it would be a pain. But my big fear with games like this is that eventually you're going to have such a big pool that it's like, hey, I know you're level, like, 30, but do you want these new items? No, I'd like an upgrade, please. Well, what about these new items? Like, no. I mean, these, for example. One thing I saw in Vampire Survivors is the ability to ban, an item from the pool or something like that, and I almost kind of feel like that would be a good idea on this one. You know, at the start of the run, ban 1 or 2 items that you just know you won't pick no matter what. That further to the left. Gotcha. Up or down? Gotta be down. On the flip side, it's got some hearts. And some money. And some other stuff. Okay, let's go back down. That should be a staple for roguelikes. Yup. Yeah, being able to curate your pool is one of those incredibly valuable things that very few roguelikes seem to actually... Yeah, there it is. Very few roguelikes actually seem to be willing to let you do. But, like, I know for Binding of Isaac, for example, if I could turn off half of the range upgrades, I'd be a very happy camper. Before all the gold disappears. There we go. Let's see. Digs for loot. Every 10 seconds. I'm gonna grab that. I realize that most developers realize that, like, boy, if you could curate your pool too much, it would actually get really easy. Or at least be really hard to balance. Which I think is a very valid kind of counterpoint. And take a look at command mode and Risk of Rain. You know, that is very, very much not a balanced experience. Yeah, for Binding of Isaac, there's a big meta strategy where you don't unlock most of the runes to keep a couple of useful ones only. Ah. Yeah, no, that makes sense. You could curate it down to spears only, it would be auto-win. Yeah, I think that's quite true. I don't think there's necessarily a good way of doing it. I like Nomad Survivor's version where it's like, hey, you just get like an obscene amount of rerolls. Have fun, bucko. Speaking of, like, apparently there's a new update for that I should give a shot. There we go. This is what I need. Kill the boss, you get a decent amount of meta currency, which we need a lot of. See, isn't that part of the challenge of a roguelike game? Curating the item pool basically removes the challenge part of the game. I'm mixed. So for this game, for example, getting new items is kind of rough. You know, looking at this, for example, I don't want any of these. My idea for the build includes none of these items. And so, sure, there's a difficulty in terms of, you know, if I'm forced to choose one, it's going to hamstring me by whatever upgrade's worth. And so, yeah, there's kind of that argument of like, well, but that's why it's hard. You don't always get what you want. But I feel like a good roguelike makes it so all upgrades are useful or interesting, or at least like somewhat beneficial. Whereas like a bad one gives you nothing but range upgrades. You know, Binding of Isaac on the really cursed runs where you only get mom's underwear and all of the other kind of just weird trash. Was that hard, or is that just kind of RNG saying no? And I'd argue that, like, yeah, it's hard because the base game is hard and expects you to get a decent amount of reasonable upgrades to, you know, power you up over the course of it. And so you can look at that and say, well, yeah, it makes the roguelike harder, and I'd agree, but I think it's just, once again, you know, going no upgrades is brutal in Isaac. You can do it, but it's not very fun. And the fun part of it is getting the, like, really cool busted synergies. I know for me, like, the test of good roguelike is how much garbage do I have to wade through before I can actually get the fun runs? And for me, I will admit, I don't have that much time in a given day. And, like, as a content creator especially, I don't really benefit much from a mediocre run. It's just not fun and nobody enjoys it. I want to be spewing bones. I want nothing to be able to approach me because I'm just in the middle of it. A Monster Train where RNG just gives you no unit banners whatsoever. Yeah. And so I can understand the logic of, you know, roguelikes have to be hard for hard's sake, otherwise they get boring. That's true. But what's a good example of one that gives you a ton of options and usually, well, Ring of Pain is, I think, the one that I'd think of the most. A lot of items you get to pass over, but in a lot of cases you have the ability to reroll as much as you want until you run out of funds. And then, even then, most items are at least halfway viable. It's very rare that I have a Ring of Pain run where I don't feel like I wasn't given some really fun options to play around with. No, we should go number. Damage is important, but I think number is more so for the moment. I should go find a pet. Another thing is you have to pick one of the options. No skipping. Yeah, I think the easiest way that I would say is that once you have X number of items in a game like this, it should offer one upgrade always. But then again, you could absolutely abuse that. So maybe not one upgrade always, or maybe it's based on the number of things that you've gotten. Another good example, actually, I would say would be like Nova Drift. I always felt like Nova Drift gave you pretty much everything you wanted, except for maybe some wild mods. But it was very rare to be skunked over by a lack of options. I am in danger. Let's see. But maybe it would be one of those that, like, for this game, just as an easy example, what if you... Oof. I don't think I have enough AoE on my spears, and my spears aren't firing fast enough. So I'm getting mobbed here. And I can do very little about it. I got a decent amount of AoE on the spears, so the real answer is just the lack of cooldown is hurting me. But maybe, like, if you have 3 weapons, it really does guarantee upgrades as opposed to just constantly giving you new ones. And so the more you pick, the less new options it gives you just because. That was one of the Vampire Survivor's strengths, is that once you've ended up with whatever your final build is going to be, that's it, you're done, you don't have to worry anymore. Let's go with the magnet range. AoE size. I don't think I'm gonna live through this one. Ow, that was rough. Well, at least we got some meta upgrades for increasing our damage. Let's see. Okay, so do we have enough? No, we do not. Oh, but I also haven't killed enough rats on that one, so it's not really worth it. Let's see. So size upgrades might actually be worth it. And we need more crystals for that. Cacti hugged you too hard. They really did. I could go for size on the orbital fire. Because I think orbital fire is better than the bone. But I think I want to save up for the damage banner. Do I want to get this one though? Yeah, let's do it. Yeah, so the real answer is my win the last time I was in the desert was mostly carried by the fact that spear cooldown was busted. But yeah, I think I'll go back to my statement of, like, one of the strengths of Vampire Survivors is once you've crystallized around your build, it gets you all of the upgrades the rest of the way for it, and then never again. Like, doesn't give you any more. And so you're locked to it, and so you don't have to worry about, like, you know, the game just giving you endless P shown even though you don't want it. Wrong map. No. This is the map that I want. I don't know. So the dev changed the cooldown while you're in the game? Nah. No, it's the upgrade to reduce the cooldown actually increased the cooldown because the dev put in the wrong number.